G'day, I'm Bob from Paradise and this is our tip of the week. This week we're going to talk about spraying Vermicaste around your plants. And we're going to show you a little worm farm, and I'll just give you a bit of information about why this is our Vermicaste, which is worm droppings or worm poo. We're going to just tell you why it is so good. With normal fertilisers, you really only fertilise when you've got a soil temperature up around, I think it's about 20 degrees, so in the warm weather. But with Vermicaste, you can spray it all year round and it'll make your plants feel like it's spring. The reason that is because Vermicaste is full of beneficial plant microbes, tiny little organisms that you can't see. If you look at your hand now, there's probably 10 billion crawling over them. You can't see them, but they're great for plants. They get on the roots and they help to absorb nutrients and moisture, and they get on the leaves and help to absorb and hold moisture and not to transpire too much and lose their water. They also protect them from different insect attacks and fungal infections. So they're very important things, and they occur in nature. In your garden situation, it mightn't be a perfect situation, so if you spray some of these around, they'll really benefit your plants, and as I said, they'll feel like it's spring right through winter. We're going to show you how to spray it on down below, and we'll show you again later, and you'll see how good our plants are going to look right through winter, even though it does get quite cool. We get down to 1 degree in winter, and the plants won't even know it, and some of these are plants that do like to be quite warm. So here's a worm farm here. This is just a standard old worm farm. We have a couple of others here, actually bathtubs full of Vermicaste as well. So if you take the top off there, you can see we cover it in shredded paper. Keeps it nice and warm and moist, and worms live in there. We just put a bit of food in there. We've got a bit of food we can give them today. Put that in there. Always vegetables, no meat or anything like that. I've known people to throw dead kangaroos and all sorts of things into them. Don't do that. But just make sure it's chopped up pretty fine. No bones. Just cover it over. And if you go searching in there, you'll find plenty of worms. Here they are. They tend to congregate. Anyway, there are thousands of them in there. Probably a bit hard to see. And in the different layers, you see that this falls through the holes in the bottom of this layer, and it gets finer and finer as you go through, and you actually get worm solution down the bottom. You can turn this tap on and worm solution will come out. We've just taken some out already, so it's not much in there. So you can pick up Vermicaste, beautiful stuff. Feels a bit plasticine-y. It's got a sweet smell or no smell. If it's any of these type of organic products, if they have a bad smell, never ever use it. That means the bad microbes are there. Good smell or no smell, perfectly good. And so we take a handful of that and throw it into your bucket. That's just an ordinary bucket. Throw a handful in at a time. And mix it with water. Remember, in there's about 25 squillion microbes.
So how much water do you mix it with?
Well, a handful will actually do about 25 litres, and it's all guesswork. But you could use less if you didn't have very much. And what I usually do, or always do, is throw some fish fertiliser or fishing kelp or kelp fertiliser in with it, because the reason these fertilisers are so good is that they're organic multipliers. They're actually food for microbes. That's why they're good. When you put these type of fertilisers out, the nutrients mightn't be so great, but the microbes actually eat it and multiply. They'll multiply tenfold just by eating some of this fish and kelp. It's a good food for them. So this is a mixture of both. So we just throw some of that in, a couple of cupfuls, mix that in as well. Sometimes I'll put it in the container that we spread it with. So what we do with that is let it settle. Here's one that's settled out, and we'll pour that off, because you don't want too much of the coarse material in the vermicaste. You want all the tiny little microbes. All the microbes will be floating around there, so you can just take that off. Don't worry about the coarse material down the bottom, because that'll block the container that you use. And what we use, and then this is the easiest one to get, one of these feed and weed type things that fit into a container like that, and you can put your hose in there. Right here. So we fill that up with this mixture. Get a funnel or something like that. Couldn't find mine this morning, but you just pour it in there. Billions and billions of microbes ready to go to work in paradise. Takes a while.
That's enough.
And because this one I haven't put any fish or kelp in there, I'll just put a couple of capfuls. A couple of capfuls, a good guide. It goes a long way too. And you put that, just clean that end off.
Is there any way you can overdose your plants on any of this?
No, you can't. So you can give it to them every week, every fortnight. I'll be tending to look at every. Well, we try and do it every week here, but in the home garden situation, maybe every 3 weeks would be good. A month might be getting a bit far apart, but it's going to really help your plants get through winter. Your plants will flower a lot more. Our bat plants down there, we got 10 times more flowers, and they flowered from January right through to June. Normally they flower, we get with normal fertilisers January, February and March. When we use this and putting it on every week, we got right through to June, and we had 10 flowers instead of 2. That's on one bat plant. So now we'll go down here and we'll just spray some around, show you how it's done. So just take the end off your hose like that, and just push that in there. And at the moment we turn that on, when you put your finger over there, it'll suck up the mixture inside here and spray it on your plants. So just be careful at the end of your hose. Put your thumb on the end, and we just go around. I'll just turn that on a bit harder. Oh. We haven't got a lot of pressure because we've got the hose on up here. Here it is. Turn this one off. Okay. And we probably must have it on somewhere else as well, because normally we have a lot more pressure than that. So just go around spraying it on. You can see it actually going down lower in the bottle. That bottle will do all this section of nursery. Putting it on cordylines, anthuriums over there. They love it. Lapping it up, ferns. As I said, we should have a bit more pressure. We've got the sprinklers on somewhere else at the moment. And that's all there is to it. Just go around spraying like that. Really easy. And your plants will think it's spring right in the middle of winter, and it'll keep them healthier. They'll flower more, you get bigger fruit, bigger flowers, more of them, more often. That's all we got for this week, and remember, we're at www.paraplants.com, and also on YouTube. You can find us on YouTube on at Power Plants 1 is our channel. We've got our own station.